Yo, this is Nova Trifecta. I am Jimmy Fedora, aka Alias, aka Juicy J. A lot of AKAs and BKAs.
Magneto. Yeah, what's up? Magneto, aka Shad.
And we
And
have
yeah, I guess I'm gonna.
you introducing yourself now.
Oh, hi! I'm introducing myself. You know what I think? I think that we need like a fun little like jingle. It's like Nova Trifecta or
Something
something like
needs to
that.
happen. I
Yeah, we
agree
need
that
like a little
something
jingle.
because the little intro that we got isn't it. It doesn't work. The rest of the show works. The intro ain't got enough oomph on it.
No, I like the intro. Y'all just don't intro right.
That
That's
that
it. I mean, I
intro.
introduce myself glowingly, and you
But
just
you
say,
did a
"Ah,
fantastic
that
job.
Negro." Yeah,
That's because we never have a format. We never know.
and that's y'all fault. That's you and Kendall fault. Y'all supposed to have a picking order by now.
I'm like Ricky. We need a little. I think we can use a little jingle.
Nova Trifecta.
Hell no.
They're
Yeah.
talking about sports and movies.
No.
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 Yeah, we could do something.
Well, we are here to talk about Wandavision, episode 3. I believe it's gonna be a lot of static this episode. Maybe. What did you guys think about it overall? Before we get into the thick of things.
I thought it was absolutely perfect. I thought it was perfect. It's a straight up 10 for 10 for me.
A 10. We're coming out swinging with a 10.
And so
For me, it is. For me, it is because I think it's perfect storytelling.
and so
I like when stories push the story forward. I think it's perfect storytelling, perfect writing, perfect acting, perfect Easter eggs. The perfect song at the end, Daydream Believer. I thought it was perfect.
as good as an episode as it was, I can't give it perfect is like so like when you take this episode, you giving it a 10, it got to stand by some of the greatest television that you've ever seen. And I just can't do that. I can't take, and it's good. Before we get into it, I like it. It's good. I think it's a very good episode. But like I can't take this episode and stand it next to Ozymandias. I can't stand it next to Battle of the Bastards. I can't stand it next to the Red Wedding. You know, I
Sound
can't.
like you just talking about battle scenes, though. I'm
No,
talking
no,
about
no.
storytelling.
It's not. All of that is not battle scenes, actually. But I can't stand it next to some of the best, even with True Detective. You know, the episode where they're going through the. I can't put it with some of the greatest television that I've seen. But it could be a very good show. A 10 is a classic. It's not a classic episode.
I think it's a part of what's going to be a classic.
But I mean,
I think sometime in the next 6 episodes, they're going to drop a classic episode.
I can agree to that.
They're going to give us a 10 out of 10. I don't think this one was a 10 out of 10. I think I gave the first 2 episodes a piece. I gave them a 9 and a 9.1.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to keep that little climb going, and this one's definitely still like a 9.2. Like it's better than the first 2 episodes, but still not by much. It's not quite, but it's still great. It's still, what it is to me.
Like I think you can have different scales, I guess. Like you can have battle sequences that's a 10 out of 10. You can have storytelling. Like me personally, I thought Mockingjay Part 1 from the Hunger Games was really close to a 10 out of 10. Not because it was so super duper exciting, but because the storytelling was great to me. I appreciate storytelling. I like the storytelling. I appreciate
but
the
you can have a good storytelling
and
you can have
hip-hop,
minus the action.
In hip hop, 5 mics from the source is what's that album that kind of pushes the genre forward a little bit? That's a 5 out of 5. That's a classic rap album.
But you know how I
think this does a good job of pushing the story forward.
But using your analogy with the classic rap album, you can't take a very good album and stand it next to a classic album and say, "Hey, it's a classic." It's not.
Yeah, but
it can't stand with certain stuff.
Yeah, but if it's a part of a classic album, you can say that this was a perfect song.
You projecting.
I
That's what
think
you're
that
doing. You
Bitch Don't
project.
Kill My Vibe being a part of Good Kid, Mad City adds to the perfection of that album.
But yeah,
now,
that's fine. But that's fine. That's an
a
end.
great song by your standards.
That's in-game material, though.
Yeah, that's you ending the project like you projecting that this is going to be a classic. What I'm saying is you can't.
I already think it's going to be a classic.
Okay, but
I already think it's going to be a
projecting. You're not grading on the fly. You're projecting.
I'm grading on it right now. You just don't agree with it.
Okay, I mean,
I gave my grading. You just don't agree with it. That's all we disagree about.
No, I just think it's ridiculous that it could stand with some of the best TV that's ever been like written, that has ever been shot. Some of the best scenes. I just can't put it.
Well, it can be ridiculous to you.
It's very ridiculous.
You thought Ricky giving a 9.1 for the first 2 episodes was ridiculous.
Not as ridiculous as giving it a classic. Like it's not a classic episode. Nobody's watching that and saying that this is a classic episode. Nobody.
I don't know.
Nobody.
If it's gotta 100% be a classic episode all
That's
the time.
A 10.
I think if you go
100% classic.
I think if you think that it's got a piece of content has got perfect writing and perfect acting, then what do you give it?
I'm not saying it's perfect. I just said it's very good.
No. I'm saying that it's perfect. If I'm saying that if you think that a piece of content is perfect writing and perfect acting, then what would you give it? Would I sound right saying that it's got perfect writing and perfect acting, and then I give it a 7 out of 10?
No, but I mean, you got. But what you're doing right there is it still got to stand next to some of the classic shit. And it just don't.
That's your criteria. That ain't mine. You can't
so this episode stands some of the best shit you've ever seen in your entire life.
You watch a lot different TV than I watch.
Outside of TV,
grading it on a different scale.
So the best episode of The Office that you've loved, this episode, and we ain't even got in the thick of things, stand next to some of the best Office episodes that you've ever seen. Some of the best and that's my point. It stands next when you give it a 10. You saying this stands next to some of the best shit that I've ever seen in my entire life.
Well, I don't want to say yet what it stands next to. That will come with time.
10,
how do you differentiate?
That will come with time, what it stands next to. But as of what I'm saying right now, if I'm saying that I think the show had perfect writing and perfect acting, would it make sense if I gave it a 6 out of 10?
You gotta give it a 6.
It doesn't make sense for me to give it anything outside of a perfect rating. If I think a song has perfect writing, perfect delivery, perfect beat, all of that, it may not be my favorite song of all time. But if I think it's got perfect writing, perfect production, and like perfect verses and all perfect delivery, then what sense would it make for me to give it an 8?
That's a classic song, man, and that song better be able to stand next to some of the best songs ever created.
I think that 8 Mile Road from Eminem is a 10 out of 10, but it's not nearly one of my favorite rap songs of all time.
All right, Ricky, what you think?
I thought it was a very good episode. I still, like I said, I thought it was better than the first 2 episodes. I like the fact that this one it's not showing us where we're going. It's not telling us where we're going, but it's put us on a path that we weren't on in the first 2 episodes. You know, you're starting to kind of see that there is a direction. Like there's some kind of something to the madness of every episode being a sitcom. You know, by the end of this episode, those walls are like breaking down.
Yeah. It got a little dark.
Got a little dark there at the end. It's nice.
I love that. I love when Wanda starts figuring something out.
Yeah.
I love it.
I thought my TV glitched. Like there was one point in time when she made Vision kind of glitch, and I was like, I don't think
she done it. I don't think she done it that time. When she done it, it rewound, and she said no in the second episode. I don't think she made it glitch this time. I think whoever's controlling her made it glitch because Vision was making her nervous.
Yeah.
So I think whoever's controlling it, whether it's Sword or Hydra or whoever's controlling it, they're the ones that made that one glitch because Vision was waking Wanda up and making her nervous.
First of all, let's get an episode. So, the episode opens up. She's pregnant, 4 months pregnant. The doctor comes over, says she's 4 months. He leaves, go on vacation. They start a nursery. We're just gonna speed it up. She ends up being like, I don't know, 8 months pregnant. Vision freaks out, goes get the doctor, and y'all can take it from there.
When she's building the nursery, okay. So the pregnancy. Let's start with the pregnancy, right?
Okay.
This pregnancy, she went from like full-term pregnancy over the course of what, 1 day, basically, or over just like a few hours.
I think it was like a day, something like that.
Yeah, over like 12 hours. That was. I appreciate the way they did that.
I do too.
Like one moment, they're having a conversation. The next moment, like something happens and poof, she's a little bit more pregnant. And then like it sends like her powers and everything into a fritz. Like when it happens, like when she's in the nursery.
Did it send her powers, or was that the powers of the kid? Is that the reason why she didn't know what was happening? Is that why the stork came to life? Is that why the butterflies came to life?
Them kids
I didn't know what was going on.
That kid ain't real.
I don't know though. They got something's got to be real.
No, I think none of that's real.
I don't think the whole.
I don't think
something's real. They not bringing in Billy and Tommy for no reason, just to say this ain't real. Something's real.
So Vision is actually dead still. So for her to be pregnant, I mean.
Well, where are we at though? Where are we at right now? I don't know where we are.
It has to be post Endgame. It got to be post Endgame. Even for Ultron, and we'll get there for Ultron to even get reference. We passed Endgame. I think we will.
Yeah, it's immediately. I saw something this week where somebody said that it was immediately after Endgame.
Yeah.
Like immediately after Endgame.
Well, something's got to. They ain't bringing in the twins, big power players in Marvel, and just saying, it ain't real. No, they ain't doing that. Something's real.
They could though. I mean, if this whole thing isn't real, if the whole thing's in her head or something to that degree, and she doesn't realize that it's in her head. My thing is, I can't tell if it's real or not, because part of me wants to say that the kids aren't real and that the whole thing's in her head. This is a fantasy, this is the dream, the life that she wanted. All I want to say is something's going to happen with those kids, real or not. I don't know if this is I'm having a hard time getting my thoughts together on it. I can't put it together.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's real. Obviously, she's in some kind of dome. We'll get that toward the end. But anyways, what did y'all think when? And I can't think of her name, but she said her name was Foxy when she said, when she came to the door. What did you guys think
Monica/Geraldine?
Yeah, what did you think when she came over? That whole interaction with her and her trying to hide her being pregnant and all that good stuff.
Well, I think it's obvious that she's an agent for Sword or something, because she's got a sword necklace on.
Yeah,
but for whatever reason, she's confused too. So I think she's an agent of Sword. Now, does that mean that Nick Fury is over Sword since he's dealing with the scrolls and all of that now?
I don't think so.
Huh?
I don't think he's over Sword. I think that's going to be somebody we haven't met yet.
Maybe. But I do think that she's an agent of Sword.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think she's an agent of Sword. I think part of me thinks that she was sent in to try to help the situation.
Yeah.
And then, maybe she was supposed to go in and try to get Wanda. Like, I think that the town that they're in, I think it's a real town. I don't know if it's a dome that's over it. What was it? Just some kind of like force field that's around it. I think that whatever's going on inside of that, I think that Sword is on the outside of it, seeing it happening. I think that somebody maybe sent her in to kind of take control of the situation because that's a big crazy situation, right? I think that there's actually like people in that town that are being maybe held hostage.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's by the villain or if it's by Wanda. Like I don't know if this thing is like I don't know if there's a villain that's pulling the strings or if this is all Wanda doing this.
That's
And
where I go. That's where I'm going with it.
I don't.
I think it's her, and I think what I really think, I think they're trying to stabilize her from cracking.
yeah,
Just
I think
fucking
that's why they
everything
sent
up.
I think that's why they sent Geraldine in, and I think that she maybe was
But
maybe she was trying to bring her back down to earth, and that's why she made the comment about her brother being killed by Ultron.
something is wrong with Geraldine because the neighbors said, Agnes said, she has no home. She's
Yeah, because
not
she
one.
just
In other words, she's not one of us. I
yeah,
think
I
that
think she's
they're
zipping in and
agents.
out.
I think that they're agents of something else, and she's an agent of Sword coming in to offset what they're trying to do or something.
So it's you
But
think it's
whatever
two
it
different.
is, they're enemies or something because they got real sketchy when they asked if is Geraldine in the house, and then
Yeah,
the doctor, what the doctor tell Vision, this is
not
something
escaping.
small towns you just can't escape them. Wanda is not in full control of what's going on. I think Wanda's got some control over what's going on, but she can't have full control over what's going on. That's why she keeps getting confused. That's why that's why they blipped it. That's why they blipped it when Vision started asking Wanda, something's not right. What's not right?
You know what this is the perfect example. When Professor X kind of laid the Phoenix dormant inside Jean Grey, so she wouldn't crack and the Phoenix wouldn't get out. I think that's something going on at play with this. Well, Wanda might have something happened where she was cracking and something happened, and they got her in this state to try to stabilize her so she won't go absolutely crazy. And if your theory is right, where it's two different, agencies coming in to try to, I don't know, extract her, it's something that played to that regard where she's breaking down mentally and she's created this force field, but everybody trying to keep her stabilized from cracking and just fucking everything up.
I think I think that might be closer to what's going on.
Yeah, I agree.
It all that's a possibility. Why does she keep having Hydra abs?
It's
the
just
Hydra
she's dealing with.
Where did that come from? Why she keep this
past traumas that she's dealing with? That was, Tony Stark was the first ad. Baron Strucker was the second ad. The third ad straight up about Hydra. Those are all like this is still at the end of the day. This is Wanda's little bubble that we're playing in, I believe. We're witnessing it from Wanda's perspective, I believe.
Yeah,
whatever's going on, and I think that's why we're seeing those ads.
And is it something to be said that about outsiders from the USA look at the USA through the lens of content, sitcoms, movies, things like that? And she's Sokovian. She's not American. So to create this illusion of the perfect American couple and situation, the only thing she's got to go on is sitcoms that she's seen.
Yeah.
So now she's playing it all out through sitcoms, which to me is absolutely perfect writing. That's perfect to me. And that's how she's seeing it. I think it's perfect. I think the love story between her and Vision is perfect. I think they got she's creating a perfect love story in her mind. When Vision came in and said, I missed it. That's romantic. I missed it.
I get that. That's really good.
Like all of that stuff is perfect to me. I think it's perfect.
I honestly think Vision been the best part of the show with his acting.
Oh, he has been.
He's been amazing.
He's been fantastic. Everything that he's done, even down to the last episode with the magic show. Like Paul Bettany is so far, he's still to me 3 episodes in, MVP.
Yeah.
See, I think Wanda's MVP. To me, Wanda's the best part of the show. The way she's going through all of these different emotions, and when she kind of snaps out of it and snaps back in and snaps out of it and snaps back in, goes dark, comes back light, like fixes the problem real quick, and then gets right back to what she's doing. I think Wanda is the star of the show. To me, I like Vision. I like Vision, but to me, Wanda is what's pushing the story forward to me.
I love how she reacted to things this episode. Like when she made the comment about the butterflies and the butterflies came to life. And then let's see, when Geraldine comes over and she throws the coat on and she runs to the kitchen and the coat changes like 3 different times.
Yeah.
Like her reaction to each one of those was fantastic. Like she's acting her ass off. I'm definitely not going to take that away from her because she's acting her ass off.
She is. Do you think it's significant that Tommy came first? Tommy, do you think that means anything? Tommy came first and Billy came second.
I don't think so. I have twins. I don't. Yeah, no.
You're not a comic book though.
I mean, are you sure? I've seen Stranger Than Fiction. We don't know for sure. We could all have our own authors. Gosh,
that's scary. Thank you, Ricky.
What did you guys think about Geraldine mentioning Ultron?
Oh, that was
to me that's the peak of the show. To me, that was the peak of the show when she said Pedro was killed by Ultron. And it snapped Wanda out, and you saw that tear roll down Wanda's face. That's what you call perfect acting. Just one small tear. One small tear rolled down her face, and she said, "What did you say?" And then Geraldine was thrown off. It's like she didn't know what was happening then. So I don't know, man. This is perfect to me. I think it's incredible.
Do you think
Wanda? I'm excited.
And then Geraldine had a sword emblem, on her chain. But anyways, do you think Wanda threw her out of the bubble?
Oh yes, she did. Oh yes, she did.
You can see the red magic going around her when she fell. That's Wanda's magic.
So do you think Wanda's trying to keep this thing together?
Yes, I think Wanda's trying to keep her perfect reality going.
Okay.
I think that whoever's controlling Wanda, because I don't think Wanda's got full control. She doesn't. That's why she gets confused. But I do think that whoever's controlling Wanda knows what she wants. They knew that at her core, she wanted a family. Her brother's dead. She wanted a family. She's seeing it through the eyes of a foreigner. And so she's seeing America and the perfect American life through the eyes of sitcoms and content. And they're playing that out. And now she's got children. And now she's got the family that she's always wanted. She's in love with Vision. This is perfect for her. And it seems like she doesn't want anything to screw it up. So anything that threatens the perfect reality, she rewinds it or she throws it back out. She said, I sent her home. That's scary because that must mean she knows where Geraldine came from. She said, she had to rush back home. Agnes said Geraldine didn't have a home. So what does Wanda
Agnes
know?
low-key snitching.
Agnes was low-key snitching.
Or she was trying to keep the other. It looked like Agnes was snitching, but then she was trying to keep her other neighbor from snitching all the way.
He was finna go there.
Huh?
He was finna go there. And that
was such an off-putting scene. Like the whole thing. Him standing there. It wasn't all right. Like he's standing there. He is cut through this wall with like hedge trimmers, and she's standing there like on her bike, and she's got that grin on her face. Like she's something else, man. She ding her little bell and rode off.
Why are they trying to cut through the wall? Is it a wall?
Like having a psychotic.
There's a glitch in the matrix.
Break. They're scared of her. They know what's going on. They petrified of her.
I think that some of those people are hostages. I think
That's what
that
I'm
man
saying.
might be a hostage.
And they just scared. They scared shitless of her. I think that's.
I don't think Agnes is a hostage.
No, I don't think she's a hostage.
I think Agnes is a villain.
I straight up think she's a villain.
Yeah, I do. I think Agnes knows what's going on, or she's controlling the whole thing, or something.
Well,
she's kind of like Loki, and like the whole thing is like she's pulling strings on this shit.
Yeah.
Well, we are definitely going to find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
But before we get out of here,
after you done listen to him scream for 15 minutes.
Yeah. I enjoyed this episode. I really did. I really enjoyed this episode. So what we do, we're gonna give out the ratings. Obviously, with the opening of the show, we all know shots, POM, which is POM means prisoner of the moment. Rating. So Shot, I would love for you to give the people, because this is documented, we can go back and look at it, your rating again.
It's getting a perfect 10 out of 10 for me as far as the episode. Now,
did you think it was going to change it?
Yeah.
Did you think it was going to change it?
But you gotta understand the way I understand what y'all saying about it matching up with the other great episodes from other pieces of content that you've seen, and it doesn't. But what I'm saying is, I think it's perfect. So if I think it's perfect, I don't see what other rating I could give it. I think that the writing is perfect. I think that the acting is perfect. I think that the Easter eggs are perfect. The clues are perfect. If I'm giving it all of these perfect things, how can I give it anything less than a perfect rating?
Well, it's not perfect.
If you've got 100, if you have 100 different things that you believe are perfect, like how do you differentiate which one is the most perfect?
I don't know. It's levels to it is all I can say. It's levels to it. Yeah, it can't. I think The Dark Knight is a perfect movie. WandaVision episode 3 can't stand toe to toe with The Dark Knight. Okay,
not necessarily stand toe to toe, but stand next to it.
That's why I use decimals.
But what I'm saying is, okay, I get that it can't stand next to The Dark Knight, but if I am giving it, I think it's just levels to it. I guess it's levels to a 10. It's levels to it. Soul is a perfect movie. Soul is a perfect movie, but it's not a classic like The Dark Knight or like the Return of the King.
Soul is a really good. Soul is a
really good movie, but it wasn't
not a perfect movie.
It wasn't even their best.
Soul, Inside Out is a perfect movie.
Okay, Ricky, what? No.
Listen to the logic. Hold on.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Listen to the logic first. Listen to the logic first. Logan is a perfect movie. Is it as good as The Dark Knight? No, but it is a perfect movie.
It can stand. I'm not. It can. When I say it, got to stand next to it, not necessarily be better, but it comes up in the conversation. It has to stand.
You're making up your own criteria.
That ain't making up their own criteria.
Yes, it is.
If it can stand next to it, it got to be
making up your own criteria. It's levels.
Classic.
It's levels to it.
It's still gonna be a classic.
It's a lot of stuff that I'm sure that you've called classic and say it was 10 out of 10s that I would never think could measure up to The Dark Knight or to The Two Towers. It's just the way it is. It's levels to it.
If you believe that.
Anybody with a brain would believe that. It makes sense. No. It's just levels to it.
I took a poop this morning and I rated it a 10 out of 10. Would you have rated it a 10 out of 10?
Definitely.
I took a poop this morning and rated it a 10 out of 10.
Definitely.
I ate steak this morning. I cut up.
What did you rate it, Ricky? 9.2?
I'm going to give it a 9.2. I'll tell you what, no, that's about a 9.3. Like it's great. It's not perfect. It's not the single best ever, but I don't have any disparaging remarks to make about it. so it's not below a 9. But I want to make sure that it's firmly above the first 2 episodes.
Way better than the first 2 episodes. Although it's not perfect. I think we're going to get a perfect episode, and I think we're in line to
get a 10.
I think we're in line to get a 10, and so I'm actually giving this episode 8.5. But I think that we're going to get that 10. It might be the next episode. Who knows?
I think that I'm interested to see the next episode. I think the next episode is going to be that Halloween episode that they've showed in the trailers.
That'd be dope.
With both of them wearing their old comics outfits. I think that's going to be the 80s sitcom.
That'd be dope. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so
that feels like the setting of an 80s sitcom.
I'm interested now. I'm interested as to what's going to. I'm interested. I wasn't bored out of my mind. I didn't fall asleep. It was shit happening. It was happening. I like this episode. 8.5. That's really, really fucking good. You know, from a 6.5 that it was when it was boring. So, any last remarks about WandaVision before we get out of here?
You're not showing the appreciation.
I can appreciate something.
You're not showing the appreciation that you need to be showing for what they're doing here. But I do think that and I'm not a comic connoisseur, I'm a cartoon connoisseur. So I grew up watching the cartoons of all these things and stuff like that. And then I'll catch up on the comics and on the stuff like that as this stuff comes out. But I can understand how a casual fan would have difficulty following and being interested because they don't know or understand the characters enough to know what's coming, what's happening, things like that. None of us really know what's happening, but at least we know where it's going, what's coming. I think it'd be hard for a really casual fan to enjoy what they're seeing.
All right.
My last point is this. You know, I don't know how real the kids are or not, but let me just tell you, as a father of twins, I'm going to be devastated when they kill those kids.
Yeah.
I'm going to be devastated because that hits a little close to home for me.
Yeah.
Those kids are gone. Like, I'm warning everybody, don't get used to those kids. There's zero chance.
Ricky, is your wife around?
But see,
Is my wife around? Wife! I don't think that's going to work.
Oh, okay.
She's somewhere.
All right.
She was here.
But see, I don't know if the kids are gonna disappear because I mean, if they setting up the new Avengers, I'm not sure what's about to happen with the kids because Tommy and Billy are in the new Avengers.
They can do whatever they want to their own continuity at this point. They've said that this is House of M was kind of a roadmap for what they're trying to do. For example, they killed Quicksilver the way they did. You know, that's not something that happens like that in the comics.
Yeah,
they can bring these kids just to kill these kids and never have them again. Like they don't have to have Speed and Wiccan, to do the new Avengers eventually.
Yeah,
and
they're going to take liberties.
Kevin Feige will kind of use the comics for foundation pieces for a lot of stuff, but then go off and give his own version of what's going to happen and things like that. He understands the material and the characters enough to do that. So I get that.
All right, and another thing, Disney, y'all ain't slick because what you did is you slid Age of Ultron right at the end when the episode ends. Disney suggests Age of Ultron, and what I did is I watched it.
I'm watching it right now.
Let me tell y'all something.
Age of Ultron right now.
Let me tell y'all something about Age of Ultron. You motherfuckers didn't give it the respect that it deserved, and I was one of those motherfuckers.
No, Age of Ultron. I always liked Age of Ultron. I never understood why people, but I'm telling you, every time a movie comes after a classic, people are always unfair to it. The first Avengers is a classic. Age of Ultron came out, wasn't quite a classic like the first Avengers, and people trashed it. They just done the same thing to Wonder Woman 84. Wonder Woman was a classic. Wonder Woman 84 came out, not as good as the first, not terrible like people act like it is, but not as good as the first. They trashed it. They do that to The Dark Knight Rises.
I didn't know that. No, I just ignore that. Because that's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, let's get out of here. We kind of over. But yeah, we'll be back next week. Hopefully we get that 10. You know, again,
10.
not
Fucking
bad.
10.
Not bad coming from a 6.5. When you say shot to 8.5.
Yeah, I think that's a good rating.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's a good rating if that's what you want to give it. I mean, I respect anybody's rating. I mean, other than that 5 or whatever you gave the first 2 episodes was trash.
I gave it a 6.
Yeah, that's terrible because it's just too good to be a 6.
Yeah, that shit is a 6.
But a 10, a 10, to me, I see it as a 10.
All right, well, we'll be back next week. Like, share, comment, all that good stuff. Thank you for checking us out. Nova Trifecta, baby, we out.